flex me a bad body. Say, oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a first run, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
Good evening.
All right. Look at that pure-blooded British red coat. You know, we're talking absolute loyal patriot, would have crushed those revolutionaries in 1776. All of them. Yeah. Our latest British citizen, Ricco. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. Thank you very much. I've had a lot of love from everywhere, so I just want to say thank you to everybody, man. It was a long process, bro. But
Do you feel more special now?
Absolutely. I even said to my sister, she came with me, I was like, the air just tastes different now. Do you breathing in that British air? She just looked at me like I'm an idiot, because I probably was. But Ra, how are you?
Yeah, great, man. Yeah. Don't know about you. So we're going to talk about the goings on this week. News in the boxing. All the drama queens are having their say. Last week there was some good fights and a dreadful night in South London. You loved it, but then
people are blaming Madonna for Riakporhe's loss. That's not true, man. Can't blame Madonna.
Did you see the YB's video on it?
No. I used to watch his videos a lot, and I have mad respect for him, and like everything he does. His content's funny, but sometimes the guy is just too ruthless, bro.
But yeah, listen, as I said in our chat, when a man in his prime of his life settles for a pensioner, that's a man who ain't got much.
How are you calling Madonna a pensioner? Can you hear what you say before you say it?
Well, listen, I'm not a man in my prime. I ain't out here saying,
oh, that's not true.
I'm the top stud ever, I'm getting all these hotties. Nah, Madonna's my level. I'm way past my prime. Richard, he's still a 34-year-old stud. His testicles shouldn't have stopped working yet. Yeah.
What?
So yeah. Anyway, listen. So, big up to everyone watching. Trey, our brother from the Sunday and Wednesday show. He's right. Tank Davis is growing on me now. These other cats, the other three so-called four kings, I thought they were moving well for a while, but they all turned corny, all of them. Yeah. So we know about Ryan. He's playing the reality TV star. Yeah. So hoping people will forget that he cheated. Yeah. So he's on some bullshit there. Some girly insta thought behavior right there.
What? Right, he's suspended, bro.
Now Devin, I'm gonna take 2 years off. You got Tio out there saying, I know my worth. Yeah, that's what all these thoughts say. I know my worth. 10 million a fight because I had one good fight.
Who's been teaching you new words? Who's been teaching you new?
Over Eid, my nieces and nephews, who are all like that age, they came and stayed. So I've been getting down with the youth terminology. But yeah, so that's 3 out of 4 of them all moving corny now. Tank, to be fair, 30 years old, mature man. He's getting on with business. He ain't saying too much. He's getting on with business. And yeah, I've had to reassess things. I've been critical of him in the past. primarily because of the crap Ellaby says about how we make the fights when it suits us and blah 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 business. All right, to be fair, that's Ellaby's job. You know, he ain't a fighter. He's a promoter or manager, whatever. He's all about the money. That's his job. But yeah, to be fair, Tank, I was looking back at his record since 2020. So 4 years, all of his opponents, 7 opponents between them have had only 2 defeats. 2 of them that he beat subsequently became world champions in Pitbull and Barrios. And Barrios, it was the weight class up. And yeah.
Garcia team struck a deal.
I think Tank rightfully is now... He's not amongst the very best pound for pound, but I'd say I'd put him about
Tony.
And the others...
Sorry, Riley, pretty quickly.
The others, yeah, like I said, they're corny. Don't want to hear about Ryan anymore. Devin, I don't know.
No, but we're at the last bit. We're at the last bit. You can't go through the whole story without seeing the ending. Ryan's received a suspension now, and Devin's received his O back.
Is that official? Because I've seen stuff
official.
like that.
Yep. If you go on BoxRec right now, Devin Haney is
BoxRec ain't official. I want to see, has the New York State Athletic Commission made an official statement? Any of our fans, our beautiful loyal fans,
if it's on BoxRec, because BoxRec would have, well, yeah,
BoxRec ain't really an official source of things, you know.
It pretty much is though, Ra.
Nah, it's a secondary source. That's why you sometimes see some of the fights, you know, for the schedule fights which have already been cancelled. It's still up there because it's taken time for them to hear. So, but I think it's fair to say,
Raphael, yeah, Steve, Dan Raphael, even though I don't like him, like straight up say to his face, he's been very close to this with your mate, obviously Victor Conte. You know what it is, Ra? What's made me laugh about this whole situation? Like, it's just made people like mad for just no reason, right? Because you're supporting this or you're supporting that. It's like this tribalism thing that we have in boxing. You know, it's interesting, and very, very interesting.
So it's being reported as fight ruled no contest, fined $1.1 million. Okay, well,
that's the end.
I'm sick. Like I said, sick of Ryan. Devin, I'm still going to give a chance. It might just have been talk, but why is he acting a diva? Because Matchroom didn't bid for Sandor Martin. Yeah, he's now on that TO bullshit that because I earned 10 million once, I have to earn 10 million for every fight. No, it don't work that way. You earn 10 million for the white fights that are worth 10 million. You should take his. In fact, you know, after the Ryan fight, everyone's saying, "Oh, you know, that's such a bad beating. Can he come back?" Sandor Martin is actually the perfect fight to come back to because he's unbeaten.
I wouldn't say that. He's awkward and his style is just weird.
He's awkward, but he ain't aggressive, and he ain't going to come with a punch. If there's any residual after effects of the Ryan fight, it will be Devin questioning, "Can I take a shot? How am I going to cope with someone really attacking me?" But Martin, it's a chess match. I think that's more his comfort zone. So I think get that Martin fight, beat him conclusively, and then he can say, "Oh, look, I'll beat him better than Tio." Yeah, Tio struggled.
Yeah, but who cares? That fight was shit as well. Like, this is the thing.
Yeah,
I think that
it was shit, but it sets it up for him being able to get potentially the TO fight. And then
the TO fight is there. Bob wants that. With Top Rank winning the bid, you can easily give Sandor a step aside for unification. Bada bing, bada boom.
I mean, when is TO's fight with this fellow Claggett?
Should be soon, isn't it? Like a
July, yeah,
a
it's
week
in
or two.
July sometime. So if they can get that out not too far after TO fights, then yeah, they'll both have got their mandatories out of the way and then set that up for the autumn. But anyway, like I said, that I'm getting tired of that the three of them.
Yeah, no, let's move on. Let's move on.
It is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Last week, we won't assess the fights because our colleagues have been doing that all week. Let's just touch on where can they go next. I mean, your alter ego, when you're not doing this punditry with us, you're actually boxing under the name of Ben Whittaker. So yeah, people are saying he doesn't have the punch power. I'm still not sure. I don't know what you think. I'm still not sure how good he is because we can't tell how good or bad Willings or Arenyeka are because they haven't really fought anyone either.
Well,
I don't know about you. I want to see though next. I want to see Whittaker, someone live. So Dan Aziz, Shakan Pitters, although he's got a European title shot next, but that'd be a fight worth having. Or maybe Craig Richards coming off a defeat. What do you think? Is that too much too soon? He's been to 10 rounds now, and he's got a trinket belt.
No, I mean, so he's won the IBF Light Heavyweight International Championship, coveted belt. He defeated the African King. I think that, yeah, definitely go for a step up. You want to go. I thought the Lyndon Arthur fight was really, well, obviously Lyndon's fighting. I think Lyndon missed weight as well, but that's another story. But yeah, Craig Richards, somebody like that. He's talented. He's, Olympic pedigree. I think now he's fought to the consistency of we know what he has to offer. And one thing, even though Ezra was very limited, he came in really good shape. And, he kind of, when he closed the distance, Ben couldn't kind of do that Shaolin drunken fist that he's known for. So, yeah, I think give him a step up. I'd love the Ezra
Taylor. Yeah, he's fighting.
Ezra Taylor fight. Brilliant fight. But yeah, he should have had a world ranking by getting that IBF international belt. And, now that you're in the top 15, top 20, time to step it up, boy. And
yeah, you're right. Lyndon's a good fight as well. Presuming he wins tomorrow. Different style, more of a boxer.
That's a great fight. Actually. Yeah. Now that they fought around the same time,
exactly.
Him and Lyndon for the IBO. Well, not the IBO. Well, for something.
Yeah, listen. The trinket belts don't matter so much, but yeah, he's done the 10 rounds comfortably. So that's what I want to see him do next. I wonder whether is he just stalling to get out of his boxer contract? That's the rumor that it's almost.
It's not stalling if Ben is giving him the fights. So Ben is standing up the contract himself, but he's doing well with the activity. But we all know where he would do the best. If Eddie had Ben Whittaker.
You do know that with Eddie, as our American colleagues discussed with you, Trill, he's ruthless. Is Eddie, to the point where I believe Trill thinks he's actually bad in terms of matchmaking.
No, Eddie takes them up the levels appropriately. Like,
yeah, but
I don't see the problem.
No, either do I. That's what I don't think it's a problem because Eddie doesn't make no pretense about it. But if Ben signs with Eddie, he'll probably say, "Yeah, look, right from the off, yeah, we'll give you the biggest exposure, but fights are going to be dangerous. The first one will probably be fairly hard, but you'll be expected to win. The second one will be probably a 50-50. And if you ain't good enough, you ain't good enough."
This is the thing. Yes. Like, even with Matthias and Paro, I'm not feeling bad for like you're a world champion. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be ready for everybody if you're defending that belt. Like if you once you go top 15, top 10, you can't go back like that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I got no problem with it. Yeah, listen,
that wasn't
like I
even
said,
a unification for Matthias. That was just defending the belt.
He was on home turf, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, with Ben, any of those names we mentioned. Yeah, what about Dan Aziz? I think Lyndon Arthur said earlier today.
That's a great fight.
Him against Dan Aziz would be, again, very appropriate, sort of crossroads for both of them.
What, for Whittaker?
No, for each other, Lyndon against Dan.
Nah.
No, why not?
I mean, yeah, but you want, if you're Ben and you've got that, you've got Dan Aziz, I would make that fight next, to be honest, for Ben, for that IBF international or what have you, because he beats Aziz, he gets a very decent ranking. Then we're talking about final eliminators.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that. What about the cruisers then? Starting with we'll start with what was the best fight on the card? Isaac Chambo and Massey. See, I made this point talking to our friend Jams on his show with Serhan. Isaac called Massey basic, yeah. And I get the impression people also thought the same about Chris Billam-Smith. There's this misconception in the sport that if you aren't doing flash moves in the ring, like dancing around and throwing uppercuts from crazy angles, you're basic. Like you ain't got much skill. But the basics are the foundation of the skill. And in actual fact, some of the greatest fighters, most notably Bernard Hopkins, they were basic in that sense, but they were still masters of the sweet science. They knew how to do basic things and still neutralize everything their opponents were doing. And I think that's where Chambo went wrong. Yeah, where can they both go? Isaac, I don't think it's the end or anything like that, but our colleague Rack said the difference between, say, him and someone like Tyler Denny is that he's used to being like the A side for most of his career, and that
Isaac,
yeah, would he want to go back down?
I don't know about that.
Being a gatekeeper.
I think Isaac. Do you know what? I think Isaac's problem and Richard's problem were one and the same. They both thought through whatever experience that they had with that fighter, or because if you think about it, if Isaac fought Cieslak, it's a really good thing. It's a really good thing that he fought who he fought, in my opinion. I feel like Isaac's very talented, great person. Thing is, his style and his movement, it wasn't. Even in terms of, I hear what you're saying about the whole flash thing, and if he doesn't do, but like, this is where people go wrong. You can't just rely on talent all the time. There has to be a game plan. So you get these fighters like Billam-Smith and Jack Massey. No, they're not as maybe athletically gifted or a better ring IQ like that. But if you have a guy that you just ingrain a game plan into, it's consistent. And if he sticks to that game plan, then this is what I'm saying. Because really and truly, Richard and Isaac looked past their opponents. That's how they fought to me.
Exactly that.
Because especially with Richard, he said, I worked really hard in camp and this or whatever like that. Like, I need them to watch the fights back. I need them to watch the fights back. Because, like, who did you get to prepare you for Chris? And you can't just think that you're just going to execute how I say a game plan, execute the game plan to the level of the opposition you've been fighting. Because he's with Shane McGuigan, and Shane, what does he have? Game plans, mate. Right.
Yeah.
So what the fighter lacks in talent, they'll come up with on the night.
What do you think of what Tony Ellis is saying? Is this his level then, or what's going to happen to him now?
It all depends on his mentality for Isaac. I think that Isaac is a great fighter, in my opinion, because I saw the way that he fought Lowell. Thing is, he needs something or someone to get kind of the best out of him, and this is where we're talking about game plans, because he's got that talent where if somebody has a great game plan for him, he would absolutely execute it brilliantly. So you wouldn't have to rely on sort of that talent, or they say, everybody has a game plan till you get punched in the face. Not if you have a good one and if you've been practicing it in camp. Because for me, Massey was massively underestimated. Massey was massively.
What do you think next for Massey? He says he wants CBS, but he's not
going to get CBS. He's not going
to. What does he do? Does he?
I would go for. I would either fight somebody like a Cieslak, or I would rematch Isaac and wait for your mandatory, or because you could fight Isaac for a mandatory position, or you could go and fight Vidal, defend the title against him. Vidal, that would be at the O2. So this is the thing, and Isaac will be kicking himself because that could have been him at the O2 with Jack Massey. Do you know what I mean?
So what's Tony's? I know his trainer's been on the chat. How good is he actually? Seems like another Tunde to me. I don't know what you mean by that, Tony. If you mean that he's not that well known, well, you know what? Not many coaches are well known. It don't mean they don't know boxing. Can you clarify, Tony? And by the way, if you want to come onto the show, shortly we'll be, as usual, putting the link for you. So we'd love to hear your views. But I mean, what do you mean by another?
Oh, is it Bobby?
Yeah, Bobby Mills. He's a boxing trade. He's a boxing coach. Like
he's nothing like Tunde.
I think
Tunde is one of a kind.
Yeah, but do people have this misconception that Tunde is clueless because
he's definitely not clueless. He's a very, very good coach.
To the media, I think Tunde's admitted a lot of the stuff he says to the media is just that it's part of the media persona. It doesn't mean.
What did he say? Don't make me go back to the roads.
No, he said to Pat Barry.
I'll never forget. That lives in my head rent free. Honestly, and Lions. I had Dwayne Sinclair on Banter and Boxing yesterday, Joshua Boazzi's coach, and I asked him, and I was like, have you spoken to Tunde, recently? And has he ever said to you the words "lions in the camp" in any conversation, anywhere, just anytime? So Dwayne was like, nah, but I'm waiting. It's all good fun.
It is. All right, so no great options yet for either two.
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
And as for Riakporhe, don't know what the viewers think. I think last chance for him to try and make something of himself is to go to Bridgerweight, because I don't think he's going to do anything at Cruiserweight. As Ben Shalom inadvertently let slip, he said this is Riakporhe's best chance of winning a world title. Freudian slip there, but Tony, as you were saying there, move up and fight Okoli, because at least there's that sort of grudge match element to it. Both London Nigerians, one from North London, Okoli, that's my boy. don't see him with no 60-year-olds, by the way. And one from South London. Alternatively, I don't know again what the finances are like. They could try and get Riakporhe go on Tishenko, the WBA holder. If he can beat him, then set Oakley and Riakporhe up as a unification. It's all speculation. Riakporhe's disappeared since that fight. He hasn't made a statement or nothing. So that's usually a sign that the defeat has affected them psychologically no end. He probably did believe his own hype. So, yeah, that's, for me, that's Riakporhe's probably his last chance to do something which he doesn't actually deserve. But given that Sky and Box have invested in him, that's what will probably happen. And as for CBS, couple of good options. It looks like he will get what he wants. That is Zurdo in Vegas. So if anyone deserved it, it's the gentleman. You must be happy, fellow South Coast lad.
Absolutely, man. Chris gave me my very first interview ever. I'll never forget, at the BIC open workout.
Yeah,
I remember who he was fighting, but Caroline was on the card.
Him and Zurdo are saying, yeah, let's fight each other. Looks like it's easy to make. Yeah. Won't hate on it for, you know, if people want to say, oh, he's ducking Opataya. Well, if the Opataya fight, if an offer hasn't been made, as far as we know, there hasn't been one, then why not?
Do you think Okolie will go back to Matchroom? Saka.
Well, he's tried to put the olive.
Let me put it into perspective, right? Okay, you're Eddie, and you have literally had to go through the kerfuffle of lawyers, buying man a Rolex, slave master comments, all types of shit. All right. I don't know about you. I know for a fact that Eddie Hearn is pay. I know, and he holds a grudge. I'm the same. I'm a very loving guy, but when you start hitting those type of things, and I love Okolie. I said to him, "Go Okolie," to his face. Lee got so mad, but no, you burnt that bridge, bro. Because you brought something into it that had no business even being brought into anything.
Yeah, what did he try and make a comparison with was it Leonardo DiCaprio's slave master character in Django?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Candy. Any fans of the movie remember what that horrible character's name was? And I wonder if it was historically accurate, but yeah,
no, of course it's not historically accurate. It's a fucking Quentin Tarantino movie, bro.
I think, yeah, but a lot of these movies are based loosely on someone. But yeah, Eddie didn't like that, rightfully so. But hey, listen, sometimes promoters get their back by getting you back in and putting you in with someone who they know is going to knock your block off. So, let's see. Yeah, okay. So that was last week and the goings on, the drama of this week. Coming up over the weekend in Birmingham. I like that fight. The headline of that matchroom, we've got Tyler Denny against Felix Cash. A lot of our media colleagues and Alex over at Alex and Steve Spevak discussed this. They said the curious case of how he went from a destructive puncher against Denzel to disappearing, to pulling out of several fights on fight night, struggling against light punching contenders, and he's really fallen off. They're alluding that it's because he hasn't got the help he used to have. I'm fascinated by it. Middleweight division's wide open. What do you reckon about that fight?
Pick up my guy Tyler Denny. Tyler deserves it, man. He took the scalps of 5 undefeated fighters in a row. Won the British, no, not the British, sorry, the European. You beat guys like Brad Pauls. I really rate Tyler. I like him as a person, as a human being. As I said, it's hard not to build a relationship with a fighter, but obviously big up Felix Cash as well. I mean, all the things you just said there, just coincidences, raw. It is what it is. I don't know, but I think that Tyler is going to win on points, and fair play to him. He's probably one of the most honest people I've ever interviewed, spoke to ever. He's in boxing for the money, and he's like, titles are nice and everything, but I just want to secure a bag for him and his family. I respect him. I respect him as a man.
Yeah.
Felix, I don't know. Tyler, we've been speaking about it, and he was surprised that Cash actually made it through to this stage.
Listen, twice Cash has pulled out. Once after the weigh-in, so the weigh-in which is still to come, and he's pulled out on fight night. So he's actually weighed in, and then on the following morning,
I remember,
fallen ill. So there's still time for that fight to get cancelled, but let's not try and jinx it. As you said, Tyler, we've all been high on him for a while, taking unbeaten contender one after another. The board disgracefully kept ignoring him. He should have been the mandatory for the Lonsdale belt. They kept ignoring him. I don't know why. We tried tagging them in numerous tweets, and of course they won't answer. But it'd be great if Tyler finally gets that big breakthrough. Couple of viewers, and by the way, thanks everyone. Boxing Corner Casuals, Mr. Styles for joining us. Juan Cardenas as well, making some good points. I just want to touch on the fight between Crocker and Conor Walker. So, you believe Billy Nelson, Crocker is like this, this killing machine. I don't get it. He struggled against McKenna, who ate all his best shots and just kept taunting him. Yeah, he got a big knockout last time against a lightweight who he had to turn up overweight for. I don't see it. And I'll tell you what, I am concerned that Walker will get jobbed on the scorecards, because I know Matchroom have already put in motion the Irish super fight between Crocker and Paddy.
Him and Paddy.
Paddy Donovan told me that himself, because I bumped into him in Riyadh. Yeah, that's me flexing as well as always. I get about, meet the personalities to bring you, the fans, these sort of inside news. But yeah, that's my concern. Crocker is definitely the guy the promotion wants to win, so they can put on that Irish super fight. And by the way, I want to see that fight. I mean, someone from Northern Ireland against the Republic. I mean, that's a serious fight. Well worth visiting Belfast again for. But yeah, is Crocker this monster that Billy Nelson claims he is?
I think so. I really, really rate Crocker. Obviously, he didn't make weight last time. I was critical of him, but his performance was exceptional, getting him out of there. But again, the weight. But in terms of his skill, Crocker, I really, I rate his style. Hopefully, if, hopefully they can get that fight on, because I rate Paddy as well. Paddy's last performance, I think, who was fighting? He was on the Taylor Cat Roll card. Wasn't the best that we've seen of him.
Is he out again shortly? Are they waiting? But yeah, I mean, that'd be a hell of a fight for Ireland, won't it? But yeah, my concern is Conor Walker might get jobbed on the scorecards. I don't think Crocker is going to bang him out. like I said, who has he actually banged out? Mr. Styles makes a good point about the other fight, Shannon Ryan and Emma Dolan. You know, we're really seeing now the fruits of the women's game, like the way these younger girls who've come through the amateur system, they're now coming together at the right time that we can see these good fights for the British title. So a few weeks back on the GBM show, we saw at bantamweight, Tycee Gallagher and Stevie Levi. They fought a tremendous fight, and now we've got two young, unbeaten girls fighting for that coveted inaugural British title. That's a great fight.
Shannon Ryan.
I haven't seen much of Emma, to be fair. I've seen plenty of Shannon since she was at Boxer, since her debut, and she's been getting better visibly, fight by fight. She's one of the top talents in the game. I'm looking forward to that one.
Absolutely. I think what we'll do is we actually forgot to thank our sponsors, and we'll do it at the end. But yeah, sorry, D-Rock. If we put the link in to get some people in the show,
please join in. Anyone want to give their views? And of course, on the same show, I've got to big up my boy Hamza Uddin, hoping he's going to be the first British Bengali world champion. Yeah, Bengalis, we ain't got many sports stars. I think it's just cricket. Other than that, yeah, ain't got many. So I hope he can.
And cricket is like the deadest sport out there.
I don't even class cricket as a sport. I mean, it's like, what athletic ability do you need for it? You're just walking around a pitch, aren't you? So,
and people are just getting pissed like all day on the side. It doesn't sound too bad. Like, I'd go and watch a game, but I wouldn't watch. I'd like take my laptop or something.
From what I've heard of cricket fans, they say that's what it is. It's like, yeah, it's just a day out. You're drinking, and there's a game going on that you're vaguely aware of. Anyway, wow, Mr. Styles making a bold prediction that Shannon Ryan will knock out or stop Emma Dolan. So Emma's, like I said, I haven't seen much of her, but I did check her box rec out. She's got quite the amateur pedigree. She's fought a lot of the top girls in the amateurs, won some and lost some, but she fought Emma, Ramla Ali, Ebony Jones, Nina Hughes. Big up Harry, welcome back. Harry was watching the football just round the corner from where I work, and you didn't invite me to come and watch. So I'm hurt with you and Alex, but
much love to Harry.
I'll hold that to you when we go up to Oakwell for Shelley versus Simpson. And yes, you're right. Hamza Chowdhury, who plays for Leicester, is of Bengali descent. Mr. Styles, apologies. You're waiting there patiently. Big up. Yeah, give us your views. Last week's disgraceful showing from Riakporhe, the drama between Haney and Garcia.
That's still going on?
I don't know if you're even interested in our domestic scene.
No, I am, but the Garcia Haney thing, that's still going on, really, at this point?
Yeah, just looking on Twitter, and they're both having their little piece. I mean, like I said, I'm bored of them all. They're all corny now. I want them all to shut up.
Yeah, I mean, look,
get out of the way.
Yeah, here's the thing: if Ryan's suspended, then okay, let him be suspended. Let him do this circus sideshow, whatever the fuck he's been doing the last little while, and let's move on. And if Haney wants to wait 2 years for Garcia, strip him of the title, let someone else fight for it, and then move on with the division. I'm just tired of hearing this at this point with these guys.
Yeah, exactly that. I'm tired of hearing from them.
Well, it's over now. The verdict has been had. It's no contest, 2-year ban.
Speaking of verdict, did you hear about the verdict with Nina Hughes and Sugar Neeks? That all come.
Yeah, good. They robbed that girl.
No, they definitely did. They definitely did. I mean, I didn't think she was going to get an immediate title rematch right away, but like at least she's like mandatory, so that's good. I mean, that's at least something.
I think they had 3 independent judges score the fight again, and 2 scored it for her. But she did purely on output alone. Like, I feel like Nina won that fight. But people love that Sugar Nunes chick.
I mean, look, she's a talented fighter. She's a very talented fighter, but the thing is like the judges that night in Australia, they were screwing over their own fighter. They even sent they screwed over one of the Maloney twins so badly they forced him into retirement. They made him so angry he went into retirement. He's like, no, fuck this, I'm done. Like, you're gonna screw me.
I watched that fight. I think Maloney, he kind of just cruised to it. There was an argument for either or. But I think he just got fed up because I think he's had a couple of bad decisions go his way anyway.
No, that was definitely a bad decision, especially, but not as bad as the Hughes Johnson fight. Like so bad that people were quoting Steve Harvey when he did the Miss Universe pageant or whatever. They were like,
that was like terrible. That was so unprofessional.
Oh my. Yeah, I'm just like, oh, this is a repeat of that. That's in boxing. That's brutal. But to the fight card that you were talking about just now with Matchroom, you were talking about Lewis Crocker. I feel like he's a good fighter. He's very talented, but he hasn't had like that real big breakout performance. I really feel like that big like show stealing like. Kind of like to put his name like on the map of like serious like top contenders. And I feel like if he has a good showing this weekend, he could do just that. I can see it for him. I really could.
Yeah, but you know, the way obviously Billy Nelson always bigs up his fighters. You know, he tells us that Martin Piccoli's beat up and knocked out every heavyweight on the planet in sparring, all of that good stuff.
That guy is high, bro.
It's cool. He's a manager. It's his job.
Guy is high.
You
would think that Piccoli was like some fucking superhero, the way that Billy Nelson talks about him. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was there for Crocker against McKenna, and Paddy Donovan said the same thing that I saw. He just really loads up on his power shots. And yet, I mean, he ain't a puncher like, say, someone like Tank. That single shot puts people over and scrambles their senses. I don't see it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Conor Walker outworks him. And like I said, my concern is he'll get jobbed on the scorecards. If he can blitz Conor Walker, then maybe he is as good as Billy Nelson says. But
well, you know what? We'll see come fight night what happens with those two. But I feel like with that, if either one really wants to like really like be considered like a top like or a serious contender at all in the division, this is the fight to do it for them both at least. I feel like. Mm-hmm. And as far as like the Shannon Ryan Emma Dolan fight, I mean Shannon Ryan's just on a different level. Like no disrespect to Emma Dolan, but I just feel like she's got that hungriness. Like she's got that hunger in her eye. Like she wants to be, you know. And you saw that especially in her last fight, like with the cut, like with the Vaseline, like over that cut, like just the look in her eyes, you could see she really wants this. So I feel like if she doesn't knock out or TKO Emma Dolan, then she'll like beat her on points, if anything. But I'm going with Shannon Ryan for this fight.
Mr. Stahl, I wonder, is there any mileage in this idea that we're, me included, that we're more high on Shannon because of what we were talking about earlier, how people get caught up on the flashiness of a fighter? Because there's no doubt Shannon she's an explosive puncher and she puts combinations together that look great. However, again, I've not seen Emma Dolan fight, but just looking at her amateur pedigree, she might not be flashy, but she might be able to do subtle things, and she just knows how to neutralize an opponent. I wonder, are we just more high on Shannon because of that? And the fact
Well-
that she's not a bad looker as well.
Ah, you're such a dirty old man.
I'm just saying it like more like sort of just academically. Yeah, there's no.
What do you mean academically, bro?
Well, in the same way, I say, Ricco, you're a good-looking guy. Like there's no diddy about it.
Academically, I'm dumb as fuck. I'm stupid as shit.
To answer Ra's point,
I love Ross so much. Ross kills me.
oh man, that was that was beautiful. But no, I mean, look, that argument could be made not just for like Shannon Ryan, but that could be made
You're
for a lot of
handsome,
players.
You're a
Who-
handsome guy, Ross.
He's Mr. International,
You.
Rod. He goes everywhere. Like, honestly, he's Mr. International. This guy.
Mate,
But-
you catch him in that in the Saudi.
Oh,
It's different.
but no. To Ra's point, yeah, no. The same could be said for a lot of fighters. Even was it the one fighter from Boxer, Francesca Hennessy? Like people like are high on her. Like the same could be said about her, and like how
Well,
everything's like,
Franchenko Hennessy.
yeah. I mean, like the same could be said for her. Like how she walks out and like how she's like a lot of. But to your point, Emma Dolan, she has a good amateur pedigree, but that's the thing. That's amateur. This is the pros. Like this is a whole different animal. Like even people when argued with that rivalry with Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields, how they said, "Oh, Savannah Marshall beat Clarissa Shields in the amateurs, and Clarissa beat her." Like when amateur and pro are completely two different animals. So great for Emma for her amateur pedigree, but you really like that's like this is the professionals, and in this business, it's like, what have you done for me lately? Like, who have you really beaten in the pros to say that you can be taken seriously as a top serious contender? And like they're looking at Shannon Ryan like she's like the next big star, in especially not just in women's boxing, but especially in that division, because a lot of divisions need, I feel like, that big top star or a few top stars to really help elevate like the sport a little bit more. And like you said, yeah, she's not a bad looker either. So
Hey, listen, we're in
I think Sophie,
Wow.
Sophie, I can't pronounce her last name, but Sophie
Eldish.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
that's
German
the homie right there. That's the homie. Big up to her.
Lovely girl. Yeah.
Oh, Ricco, real quick. I just wanted to say first, happy belated Father's Day and congratulations on your citizenship.
Thank you very much, bro. Much love to you, Mr. Styles. I hope you and your family are good.
Yeah.
We have a special love for you here on this channel because you're always supporting and just
Well, next week I'm probably
always in the DMs and just sending us positivity, and that's what we love.
Thank you. Well, hopefully, I'm going to need some positivity next week because I'm turning 34 next Thursday. So.
34.
Don't be afraid of age, bro. With age
Yeah.
comes wisdom.
Living, so I think it's going to be good. 30s are good. So
no. But honestly, like much love and respect to you guys, and I appreciate having me on, honestly. So
Yeah, man, we love you, Tony Ellis, Saka, like all the people that really show us love. This is why we're up late in the night for you guys because we love you.
just as I can tell, Ricco, your eyes are drooping shut. So we'll wrap up shortly. I just want to touch on the other show, the Channel 5 show. As you mentioned, Lyndon Arthur is fighting Liam Cameron, a guy who was treated really, really unfairly with a drugs ban for 3 or 4 years, was it? Because it was a recreational drug. And then we see these stars actually take PEDs and only get a 6-month ban. But yes, for WBA Intercontinental, apparently Lyndon Arthur missed weight. Do you think that Saudi payday has it killed his motivation? Is Lyndon ready to transition into being a gatekeeper now? For the likes
I think
of
so.
Richard
I know how much he got, and I would have took a beating off of Bevel for that. Not gonna lie.
Fair.
I would
point.
even half, even a quarter of that purse. I would have caught licks of Bevel, no problem whatsoever.
Definitely agree. But yeah, I think with Arthur, he I think he got a taste of what it would like, what the big boys really get paid in that sense, like what the spotlight really what really shines on them, and that just kind of like that kind of thing I think maybe went to his head a little bit that night. And I don't know, for him, like I feel like with him and versus Liam Cameron, like this was like a chance for him to get back onto that, you know, that contention spot, to prove that he's a former world champion, to prove he's deserving. But for Liam Cameron, like you said, especially with the drug ban and everything, he's got a lot to prove. And this is the thing, I'm even going to say this, especially like how when like Ebony Bridges fought Yoshida, when you fight someone that's got nothing to lose, absolutely nothing to lose, that's a dangerous fighter. That's a dangerous fight for anyone. And I feel like for Cameron, he's gonna really prove that he got screwed over and be like, this is what you get now. Like, you know, I feel like this is gonna be his night.
So you're going as far as to predict a big Liam Cameron upset? What a story that'd be.
Yeah, I mean, look, he, like you said, like he got screwed over with the drug ban and everything, so he's gonna. He needs this. He needs that kind of. He needs that big performance, especially over a former world champion in Arthur. He needs that to be like, listen, you know, I want to be like up there with the Bivol, like, you know, all these guys. I think he's gonna, you know, if he doesn't, then okay, I see it going to points. But realistically, I think he's gonna get a knockout or TKO.
Wow, that'd be a hell of a story. Right, Ricco, I can tell you are struggling to stay awake. You know, it is long days. We got a lot going on in life, so we will wrap it up. Just want to thank, as ever, yourself, Mr. Stiles. Thanks for joining. All of our viewers who stayed up late. Håkan, all the way from Sweden. Oh, by the way, I want to just say to you guys, Håkan, ultimate fan from Sweden, a country which doesn't have a great boxing following. Håkan, when are you going to become the face of Scandinavian boxing media? Start your own channel, brother.
I see it.
I keep telling you, look, I keep seeing all these shows in Canada and Beeley and all the rest of them fighting. I don't see any Canadians doing YouTube and covering it.
Do it.
Get out there, man. You can do what we do.
Yeah, Mr. Styles, do it, bro.
All right.
Yeah. You guys need have a rightful place in the media world. So yeah, but we're gonna wrap it up now. Want to thank our sponsors as ever, D-Rock Clothing. Use the discount code iBoxingHub 24 over at their website. Get 40% off. Our boy Jams, of course, is looking cool in his skin tight outfit. So yeah, use that. You don't have to get the skin tight fits. There are loose fits as well for whatever you like. I will be at York Hall tomorrow for the Warren Boxing Management Show, small hall show, giving those small time guys cover. Ricco, are you going to be joining me in Birmingham for Tyler v. Cash?
No.
Not this week. Okay, we had a good time in South London last week. You need a rest this weekend. All right, we'll be back hopefully earlier next Thursday so Ricco can get some sleep. But gents,
much love to everybody, man. Thank you, guys. Yeah, you said thank you to the sponsors. Big up to Mrs. Styles. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
It's another bang. All the and calls now, whichever get up. I start my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flicks me a bag, so